Hi, I'm Sandy, and thanks to our friends at Findlay Subaru in St. George, we hopped in the Subaru Ascent, and we're here at the Yant Flats Trailhead to go discover the desert. Come on, let's go. In this episode of Discover the Desert, we're gonna hike the Yant Flats Trail. And behind me is the Pine Valley Mountains. The town of Leeds is just over there. And so this trail is gonna take us to these incredible sandstone formations, nicknamed the Candy Cliffs. Once we get there, you'll see why. The first portion of the trail starts out like this. It's a dirt path. We're by these pinyon pines and juniper trees. There's a little bit of shade here. However, when we get farther to the Candy Cliffs, we're gonna be out in an open, slick rock field of sandstone, and we won't have as much shade. And I'm so excited to get to the sandstone formations. They're supposed to be incredible. When you're hiking out in the desert on these sandy trails, sometimes you'll notice lines of rock on the edge of the trail. That's just a reminder to stay on the actual trail. It's really easy to wander off and create more social trails, but when we do that, we disturb the landscape. In the springtime, all these wildflowers are blooming, and these are some of my favorites. These are called the firecracker penstemons. You can see why, because they're bright orange. So this is the banana yucca, and in the spring it blooms, and the petals of these blossoms are edible and they taste like cucumber. As we get closer to the sandstone formations, some of the trail does have some deep sand, so be prepared for that. Wow, now that's some eye candy. We made it to the Candy Cliffs. As you can see behind me, there's these beautiful sandstone formations. So at this point in the hike, feel free to explore as much as you want. The sand dunes turn into sandstone through pressure over time compressing the layers, and then also from the cementing effects that were in the groundwater. Over time, wind carved the swirly formations that we see now that make up the Candy Cliffs. So when we see these stripes in the sandstone, it's called crossbedding. And that's from when the wind deposited the sand. And the direction that the crossbeds are going in is the way that the wind blew the sand. Whenever you're hiking, you should always come prepared. These are a few things that I make sure to always have with me. Water, first and foremost. It gets pretty dry out in the desert, so you want to stay hydrated. I also bring some food. In this case, I just brought a couple of snacks because the hike isn't super long. And I always make sure to bring lots of sun protection, sunscreen, a hat, and a sun hoodie. You know what I really wish I brought though? Some candy. Darn, I didn't pack any. Well, thanks for joining me on our hike on the Yant Flats Trail out to the Candy Cliffs. We live in one of the most beautiful places in the world, so do yourself a favor and get outside.